years going by. But let me get back on track here. And I do have such a special guest today. His name is Nick Clarke, and he'll introduce himself. But this show will be streamed on Facebook and YouTube at the same time. So without further ado, let's all welcome Nick to the show. Okay. Good morning, Nick. Or wait.
Good morning. Good afternoon here. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, and I didn't say you are from Manchester, England.
That's correct.
Awesome. Awesome. How is things going on out there?
It's just kind of a little bit strange at the moment, as I'm sure it is for you over there.
Yeah. It is.
This strangeness, but you know, we're here, we're surviving, and we're just carrying on and coping.
Yeah, exactly. And so for people that don't who don't know you, can you before introduce yourself and then maybe know who is Nick before your stroke?
Oh, you know, it's been that long ago, I can't remember.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm Nick. I'm 50 years of age now. I was 42 when I had my stroke.
Okay.
I had a hemorrhagic stroke on the 20. No, I'll start again. That's my brain playing games with me.
Yeah,
it was
I know that.
A hemorrhagic stroke on the 10th of September,
right?
2012. So I've just celebrated my 8th stroke anniversary, as I call it.
Yes. Congratulations.
Yeah.
Catching up to me.
Yeah, well, you know, a friend of mine who's also a stroke survivor said, you know, they have like the World Stroke Day, which is October, and they have like the Stroke Awareness Month in the UK, which is in May. But
yes.
we don't have anything that's sort of celebrates the fact that we've survived a stroke.
Right.
And earlier this year, I think it's the 14th of April. Kate, I don't know if you've heard of her. It's Kate Allett. I did sort of highlight her. She's one of the ones that wrote a book. She got in touch with me and said, let's do a Stroke Survivors Day on the 14th of April.
Wow.
And it was really, really well received. And it was hashtag SSD, which is Stroke Survivors Day.
Right.
So when it comes to April 2021, when we're still hopefully here, it'll be another one where we can have another Stroke Survivors Day.
Right. That's incredible. So before your stroke, you were working, I know the same thing. But when you get to before your stroke, how did you know you had a stroke? You were doing something that was different,
I was in a very stressful job,
yeah.
and basically I was getting up for work at about 5:30 every morning, commuting 17 miles, which is probably about 90 kilometers to you guys.
Right.
Hello, everyone that's joining.
Yes.
I don't know if I can type, but so I'll just say hi.
No problem. Yeah, no, don't worry about that. I'll bring up the comments and
yeah, cool.
You'd be good there.
So I went into the bathroom and basically had sort of put a shirt on. I was ready with my shoes on, but they weren't tied. And I basically went into the bathroom and collapsed. And then my wife said, "Come back to bed. Just take your time. You've probably just got up too early. A bit of a funny turn." And so I sat back on the bed, and next minute I just slumped, and the paramedics were called. So yeah, it was a surreal moment, and lucky to be here.
Yeah, no, I completely understand there. Say good morning. Good morning to Yvonne's in Athens, Greece.
Good morning.
But yeah, so you had your, and that was 8 years ago.
Yeah.
Wow. So what else? Well, let's see. And you were at 42 years old when you had your stroke.
Yeah. 42.
Wow. Yeah.
My sorry, my wife and I had just been to Barcelona in the August for a long weekend, and it was beautiful. And then I came back to the UK, and then set about going to work as you normally do, and it just well, as you know, they happen out completely out of the blue. So
yes,
I didn't have any warnings, and people don't understand. Hi, Mike. See what I did there, Jerry. I was good at that one. But yeah, it's people don't understand that. You know, I suspect that people think that you have a series of headaches, nosebleeds, whatever. That's a kind of a pressure of, well, the blood pressure effectively that causes your stroke.
right.
But no, I had nothing.
No warning signs at all.
No, nothing.
Yeah, that's incredible. So you had something. I mean, you felt weak or you fell down.
Yeah, I literally collapsed in the bathroom. But I had a really strange feeling in my arm and my fingers. That it was like pins and needles.
Yes.
Where's the camera there?
Yes.
It was like pins and needles in there, and I mean, even now, it's a really strange sensation. But I mean, they work and everything, but I feel like I'm on a television show now. 3, 2, 1. Yeah, it's but I just had the weird feelings in my fingers, and then lo and behold, I'm in an ambulance on the way back to Stepping Hill Hospital, our local hospital. So,
wow.
Good morning.
Yes, they're all coming in here to watch you, Nick. So yeah,
I'll put my clothes on now.
Salute is a caregiver, and her husband had a massive ischemic stroke 7 months after they got married. Good woman. Yeah, unbelievable. But so with your yeah, I'll give these all here, and so no warning signs, and did you know what a stroke was?
I knew of them, but I was very sort of uneducated, if you like, in respect that I just believed that strokes happened to people that were circa 60 plus.
Yep. Right.
And it wasn't until obviously my stroke happened, I started my recovery journey. Morning, Melissa. And yeah, the youngest person that I know that had a stroke that I'm aware of was a lady called a young girl called Charlotte, and she was 8 years old.
Wow, you've talked to her.
Yeah. But even now, you know, I'm aware that even unborn babies have strokes. And
yes.
You know, in one respect, it's terrible that it happens. I get that, but if an unborn baby has a stroke, then it's got the whole of its life to go on that recovery journey and, you know, expand and get better.
Right. And you were in the you spent how many months or weeks in the hospital?
4
months.
4 weeks. 4 weeks.
Oh, 4 weeks. Okay.
Yeah. So, yeah, I wasn't in long at all. I mean, I've since known people that have had like craniotomies and things like that, and they were in for a good few months. But no, I was lucky in that respect.
Right. So you went to therapy. With this COVID thing, you're not really kind of doing your own thing.
Yeah, no, I mean, I again, this is just my personal opinion. I don't think that you ever fully 100% recover.
Right.
But I think you strive to get the closest that you will ever get. So, I mean, I don't know if they have it over in the States here, but a lot of the medical profession use the term plateau.
Yes.
Meaning, you're not even going to get any better because you've reached your plateau. And all I'd like to say to that is absolute codswallop, because every day, like we're talking yesterday, every day is a learning day. Every day you can challenge yourself to try and do. It's all about setting yourself small goals and trying to achieve them, and that's why we've got him.
Yes. Yeah. That's great.
It's our little mascot. He's called Steady Eddie.
Oh yeah. Okay.
And he's based on the tortoise and the hare fable that is just about setting your own sort of perimeters, getting there, and you will reach it if you want to do it.
So true, because 1 year after my stroke, I was told I plateaued. You're never going to get any better. And that I wanted, I'd say a bad word now, but I'm not. But that doesn't happen because you're rewiring your brain. You know all that.
Neuroplasticity, the word I can't say. Yeah.
Yeah. No, exactly.
It's. I mean, I think I shared with you yesterday where I was in a hospital as a volunteer, and you get some of the clinicians that turn around and say, "Oh, that's John, he'll never talk again." And we're like, "What? Oh yeah, he's had a bad stroke, he'll never talk again." And we're sat there saying something really rude and say,
right,
how do you know? That's rubbish. How do you know that he'll never talk again? Unless there's something in his brain that says there's definitely no reason that he will talk again. How do you know? And that's the one where I was doing that.
Yes,
that little game, and yeah,
it is funny that I mean, you're exactly right. I mean, we knew what they were saying because I couldn't talk either. I could understand, but I couldn't respond to them, and some of it just doesn't make sense. It's very, like you said, it's rubbish.
Yeah, rubbish is a nice word.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I used a lot worse.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, that's your little mascot there.
Yeah, he's this is our prototype. This is the original one. I don't know if you can see that. There we go.
There it is. Oh, wow.
That was the original one that a student made for me.
Wow.
And then I got in contact with a company called Teal Toys, and they had that made in Hong Kong.
Oh, is that right? Yeah.
Yeah. So this definitely hasn't got COVID because it was before that happened.
Yeah. You really, wow.
But he is kind of cute. Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
And because the reason behind this is because I wanted to engage children, not in a sad way, but more to educate the younger generation about strokes. So
right.
Not necessarily putting the fear of God in them to think that it could happen to them, but to say this is one of the type of things you should look out for, and this is how you can help them cope after they've had the stroke.
Right.
And I do believe that it's all about coping strategies, definitely.
Yeah. Awareness. I mean, you're trying to bring awareness to the younger generation.
Yeah.
Because they don't do that in school.
Yeah, I mean, it's not before COVID. We had a couple of awareness sessions in schools where we were invited in because some of the students' parents had and grandparents had strokes.
Right.
And there's no better way. It's not turtle, it's a tortoise.
Okay, Lynn, did you get that? Oh, that's funny.
It's a tortoise because I like to say that he taught us everything.
Yes, that's right.
Basically, like, yeah. So yeah, we went into a couple of schools and explained what it's like to have a. I was going to say what it's like to have that sense of humour. Mike Peters put me off then.
I
Um, but to sort of convey that message to the students, it really sort of opens their eyes to, what that person could be going through. And yeah, and it's quite interesting because the one that we did, we had more questions from the parents than the kids.
yeah.
They were more inquisitive, and it was really heartwarming, really.
Yeah, that's incredible. And to go back, just did you, when you had your stroke, how did you handle, or maybe you didn't have any depression or any loneliness, feeling isolated?
Yeah, I mean, it's quite ironic at the moment as well because of COVID, and we're meant to be self-isolating and locked down and all the rest of it. I mean, I remember saying that it's nothing new to a stroke survivor because we're so used to being on our own, effectively got no one to relate to talk to. I mean, with the greatest respect to our loved ones, our wives, husbands, mothers, fathers, etc. They
Right,
don't
right.
know. They don't know because they've not been there. They may have seen you, but they don't know what you're actually going through. And I've seen people with heights of depression. We've got one guy at the moment that, again, with the greatest respect, he had a TIA, not a full-blown stroke.
Right.
But he's already talked about committing suicide a few times. And part of you are like saying, well, I won't say his name because he might be watching. But you feel like saying, come on, get a grip. You've only had a TIA, you've not had a full-blown stroke. And I don't mean that in a bad way.
Sure.
But I think to enable that person to fully understand what they're going through with the stroke and all the rest of it, even a TIA, you've got to have that sort of peer support so you can talk through it to someone else that's been there.
Yeah, exactly. And that's why I love this community that we are involved in our, because they know what we've gone through. And like you just said, with even our husbands, wives, and whatever, they know what we went through, and it was tough. They kind of had the stroke too, but not, I feel, internally like we feel.
Yeah, one of the things that we'd like to do before COVID was that we encouraged not just the stroke patient to come to our drop-in. We also wanted their partners to be there, their daughters,
Yes.
their sons, because there's bound to be questions that are, going through the mind saying, "Oh, my dad going to always be like this," or, well, no.
Right.
So if we can try and sort of help and explain what that person is going through, then it's got to be a good thing.
Right. Right.
Mike Peters in Wales, you're not alone, mate. You're not alone.
Not at all. He was. I talked to him a lot, and he is such a wonderful gentleman that not anymore. No suicidal issues at all. He does his own show like we're doing right now on Friday evenings in South Wales.
Yeah, well, there's a reason why you survived, Mike.
Yes, exactly. I clap with you. That's your issue, is for awareness. So yeah, this is what it's about, to share this journey. And you've actually started a foundation to help people.
Yeah, we have the National Stroke Charity here in the UK, like you have the American Stroke Foundation.
Yeah, there's association there too. Yes.
Yeah, but I felt, and I was getting sort of feedback from other stroke survivors that there was something missing, in the respect that they are very, very good at the awareness side of things and the prevention, and fantastic. But hang
Right.
on, it should be about coping. How do you manage after such life-changing event? That
Yeah.
it's those tips that you have to give. I mean, a classic example, and I don't know if it's the same in the States, but we had one stroke survivor who had his arms like that.
Yes, exactly.
And here in the UK,
yeah,
exactly. And here in the UK, we have a bottle of milk, and it's a plastic milk top,
yeah,
and then you peel it off.
yes,
How are you meant to do that with one arm?
yeah.
But he taught us. He taught us.
There he is, Sherry.
he taught us to basically put the milk bottle in a drawer, to lean against the drawer, and then you've got your good arm to do that. Hey, it works.
Yeah, yeah. That's a great idea.
All your knives and forks have got milk all over them, but that doesn't matter.
Exactly. You opened it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So so Kevin, sometimes you have to be at the hospital. We never understand what you could eat, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think, again, personally, if you ask yourself, why did this happen? As in, why do you have a stroke? I don't think you'll find the answer. You know,
right.
the best way to sort of move on is to accept it and say, okay, let's do this, because you know no one else is going to help you. You've got to do it yourself.
Right.
You know, you might have a fantastic support network like I had with my family, my wife, my children. You know, some people don't have that.
Yes.
So the only person that is going to help yourself is you. So get on with it and do it.
Yeah, yeah. Don't just sulk. And you know, in the beginning, I think most stroke survivors had that issue of sulking and why me, and
yeah.
But like you said, you need to shake it off. Maybe is that easier said than done?
I think, again, since the sort of 8 years since my stroke, I think I've come across about 3, maybe 4 different types of stroke survivors. You've got the ones who will just sit there and feel sorry for themselves and like, yeah, you know, this is me now. I'm just got to get used to what I'm doing. You've got the ones that you got the ones that then want everybody to do things for them, and you know, like even to the extent of like they get a family gathering together and they expect you to go off and get them their buffet and a drink. Whoa, hang on a minute, no.
Yeah.
Or you get the other ones that then are more determined to actually get up there and actually do some stuff themselves.
Right, right. Exactly. Necessity is the mother of invention.
I like that.
That's good, Yvonne. Yeah, there's I feel I'll bring some comments up now just for a few seconds here. It's devastated.
Yeah.
Yeah, in the beginning, right? And our buddy Mike from Stroke.
That's good, Mike. Yeah, really good.
Yes, exactly. There's a long one, Stephen. I'd be lying if I said I haven't considered my options, good or bad. As far as the bad goes, I'm like worse. Yeah.
I think it's only natural as well that you have those initial feelings when it happens that you're going to have another one, and when you get over the fact of you realize that you're on the medication, you're under the consultant, and unless there's something that really is devastating, you shouldn't really have another one.
Right, right. I mean, you have to change your diet, some habits, and
yeah, yes. Smoke 20 cigarettes instead of 40.
Yeah. Did you
No,
smoke?
No.
Never smoked. Yeah. But you're an avid football player, or are you talking in the States, soccer?
Yeah.
Just I knew that. Just wanted to make sure everybody else knew that.
Yeah.
And I'm sure, but that's incredible what you're going through, and I'm happy that things are really. I mean, you're doing wonderful.
It's not just me. I mean, I again, just to let the people know my sort of story is that when my stroke first happened, I got contacted by an ex-work colleague who said, "Nick, I've put yourself some webspace apart," and I was like, "What?" And he said, "Well, I want you to write about it, share your experience, and start a blog." So I was like, "Right, okay, I will." And in the sort of 6 years that's been operational,
right,
it's about reaching out to other stroke survivors so that they then can feel empowered by what you're doing. And like I said yesterday, it's all about having a sense of purpose. And if you reach out to that person and say, "Look, I know exactly what you're going through.
yes,
I can help you. I can, I developed stroke information because I want to try and get the stroke survivor back to work, back in employment, if possible.
right,
If they're at an age where they're not working is not a priority, then
right,
it's to make them feel empowered and make them feel wanted again and make them feel part of something. Because we all know what it's like when you feel worthlessness, you feel you're not wanted anymore. So
right.
I just want to try and do something different.
Yeah, and it makes you feel good when you do something like that. Because I know for me, the same thing. Because in the beginning, I don't know if you felt like this. I never, I didn't want to go to the stroke. I was more embarrassed of myself that I had a stroke.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't go to the stroke support groups. Well, I had to in the hospital, and then I would hide in the back so I wouldn't be seen because I thought it only happened to older people.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, it's just incredible. Yeah, and I agree, Mike. We do need some stroke educators. We're all stroke educators now.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah.
I've done a. I'm not selling these, by the way.
Oh.
On the back, I don't know if you can read that.
Yeah. Reaching the unreachable and forgotten voices in society. Nice. And I know Lynn met it. She liked the turtles, but they're not called turtles. Oh, that's incredible. So now that you get over that, you now just try and help other people, trying to, help them out to know, because same, I think, with all of us, we just want to inspire somebody to know they're not alone.
Yeah, exactly that. I mean, again, another sort of the power of technology these days is obviously I'm on Twitter and Facebook, all the rest of it, and I got contacted by somebody in Beirut.
Really?
Believe it or not, yeah. The truth is that I used to play football with him, and he then emigrated to Beirut. But he contacted me because his dad had had a stroke, and he wanted to know what are the things he should be looking out for, how he can help him. And I gladly helped him a lot along, and so much so that he had the strokes on the Friday. He flew over from Beirut and was in my dining room having coffee with me on the Monday, and I was having a proper chat with him. I went to see his dad in the hospital, and he had a further stroke whilst I was visiting him. And
Is that right?
That was scary.
Yeah.
And again, won't mention his name because I do know that they're on Facebook. So,
Sure.
But what was what happened was that on the Thursday, the father passed away because he had another stroke, and the chap that I used to play football with contacted me and just said, "Nick, I can never thank you enough for everything you've done." I was like, "What? Are you joking? I've not done anything. All I've done is provided you." And I'm going to ignore that, Mike, because just because I'm from Manchester doesn't mean that you're not my friend.
Yeah, because he's South Wales, so.
But yeah, it was just incredible just to sort of have that feedback, that it was very, very powerful to allow information and knowledge to share to someone else.
Yes.
Absolutely amazing.
So true. So, Yvonne, we turn the feelings outside to help others, and it allows us to heal ourselves. 100% to me. That's right.
Amen. Yeah.
Exactly. Amen. Yeah, that's so now with this foundation, you're just trying to help other people. You're trying to educate other people. But now it's a little different because of this COVID thing.
Yeah, but we've embraced technology, not to the stages of this yet, but we have, like, we've done Zoom calls, we've done Skype calls, and we've developed a WhatsApp group so that people can have a rant, they can have a moan, can basically say, "Hey guys, I'm feeling like this at the moment, what do you suggest?" And we're just like you've created here. We're just a community that we can sort of say hello and use our experience to help them. Just while I remember, I've got to say hello to Wayne, who said that he'd be watching or potentially watching with Rose and Lily. So hi, Wayne.
Hello guys, if you're out there, I don't know if you checked in and said hello. But yeah, this and this is so true for me too.
Yeah, I mean that's what it's all about. I mean, peer support is fantastic. When you speak to somebody who's experienced the same sort of thing, not necessarily exactly the same, but it's been on a similar journey, then it's just, in one sense, it's a bit of a relief because he knows what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like the one of the greatest analogies that I use is that, for instance, if you wanted to buy a Mercedes car,
right,
you would, all right, go out and test drive it, and go down the Free State, see what I did there.
Yeah.
Just to try it out. But there's blogs, so you then contact people who have like a Mercedes website or a Mercedes feedback forum or whatever, and then you can actually reach out to those people and say, "Hey, I'm thinking of getting a CLK. What's it like to drive a CLK? I've driven one, but what kind of pitfalls should I be looking for?" And that's exactly what we're doing with Stroke. You want to tell people what you're. I mean, there's all sorts of different sort of forbidden chats that is it natural to feel so suicidal? Is it natural to feel sexy anymore? It's those kind of things. There shouldn't be any sort of taboo subjects, and it's especially if you've been through it yourself.
Right.
you should be able to certainly open up to the others, because they're sort of counting on your experience.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, and before COVID, like in January when I broke my hip, I went to inpatient therapy, and it was really a stroke inpatient hospital, but
Yeah.
and hip and some other things, but mostly it was stroke. And I loved we all could tell, I think I can too, is that, oh, they had a stroke for the most part. So I would always, like at lunch or breakfast with them, I'd sit and talk to them because they knew what we were talking about.
Yeah. Yeah. I wouldn't compare it to a Mercedes. No, I wasn't. I was just
But it's an analogy. Come
yeah.
on, Yvonne. Yeah. So, but for me, I like the analogy.
Yeah. It's just, I mean, all right, okay. Let's not talk about a car. Let's
Yeah.
talk about let's talking about like double glazing. If you're thinking of having some double glazing done, you would then speak to somebody who's had some double glazing and just what's it look like? What's it feel like? What does it? So that's what I'm trying to get across. That it's, you know, you have that sort of true compassion, true understanding.
Right. Right. Exactly. That's right, Serena, too. No taboo subjects. But
No, I think as well that I think sometimes we're afraid, especially men are afraid of opening up and talking about. That's why there's so much stuff around mental health awareness. I feel that sometimes you've just got to open up and talk about it.
yes.
What is the worst that's going to happen? They're either going to say no, they can't help you, or ridicule you.
Right. Right.
They're not going to kill you, so
Right. Exactly.
just get on with it.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, I'm
So she's
pulling your
messing
leg.
with you.
How do you know I've got a leg?
That's right. Yeah. Yeah. Speaking of, what are your deficits? Speaking of, your legs or your stroke.
No, I mean one of the my favourite things I like to say is that I at 42 had a large bleed on the left side of my brain, which was a shock in itself. And I spoke to you yesterday because
Yes.
I didn't know that I had a brain. So
See, and that's great. We have to have a sense of humor throughout
yeah,
all that we're going through. And you have a what do you call it? Your picture of your bleed.
yeah. What have I done with it?
Yeah, if you don't mind, let's
I don't know if you can.
there, right. And that bleed is, for me, I've seen my x-rays. That one right there, that's a massive bleed.
Yeah, don't look at my fillings.
No, that's okay. So yeah, so that's the back of your head. Oh, no one can see my mouse moving around, sorry. But yeah, that's quite the amazing. So Naomi, yeah, everyone is afraid of talking about mental health issues. It's so sad.
Yeah, I think slowly we're getting through to people to say you've got to open up.
Right?
But I still feel that there is a stigma about the mental health side of things. I mean, again, some of you might relate to this. I call it the key in the door syndrome. And what I mean by that is that you can be out. This is pre-COVID, so it's before we were locked down.
Right.
You can be out in a cafe, or you can be out in a pub or a bar, or you don't want the toilet. No, I'm fine. I don't need the toilet. No, I'm fine. Do not need the toilet. You travel all the way home and it's like, no, don't need the toilet. Don't need the toilet. I'm fine. Honestly, I'm fine. But as soon as you get your key out,
Right.
and you put it in the door, it's like,
I have to go now. Yeah, that's true. Very true.
Yeah.
Um, let's see. Now Wales Turner, Wet Walix, holding message. Okay, we could have a hacker here. Okay,
Oh,
sometimes, yeah, unbelievable. Yeah, this interesting, but yeah. So you have your hands work really well. I mean, your looks like both hands are exactly. Look at that, perfect.
sometimes it work too well, but when my stroke first happened, I was like this,
Yes,
and
all stuck up like
yeah,
that. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
I don't know if this is true, but I've since found out that 9 times out of 10, this is why stroke survivors have some sort of deficit like this, and it's because when the brain is damaged, the body goes into the fetal position of a baby,
right.
and that's why I'm led to believe that's why your arm can be like that, and like when it's trying to grip something and it won't let go, it's because
Yes.
you're going back to being a baby effectively.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
but no, I mean, if we have got a hacker, then don't worry about it, mate, because we've survived a stroke, so we're not scared of you.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. I'll get rid of them here when we're done with this. Um, but yeah, so good for you, Mike. You used a public toilet for the first time yesterday. Wow. During
Brilliant.
COVID. That
That's
is amazing.
yeah. So yeah, my arm was like that, and
It was.
I had a steroid injection there, and within literally a few days, I was back like this again. So I'm
Wow.
very, very grateful. Very grateful.
Yes. Do you go back and get any
No, not been. I mean, I'm still under the consultant, but no, I don't. I mean, again, I'm trying to push myself as much as I can, um, to try and again, it's all about setting yourself little goals, and
yes.
if you can sort of achieve them, then push yourself a little bit more the next day. But then, on the same token, appreciate that your body might tell you that it's time to rest, and we tend to fight it. And I mean, again, I'm speaking to everyone that's experienced it here, but fatigue is unbelievable. If you can have a couple of busy days, and then on the third day, it's just like, whoa,
It hits you.
I can't do anything today, and that's why another reason why I sort of set the charity up, because effectively I can dip in and dip out as much as I want,
Right?
but I can also say, well, I'm not doing any more today. It's now reached 6 o'clock. Enough's enough. I'll be
Yes.
there if it's majorly urgent. I'll deal with it. But if it can wait till tomorrow, then it waits till tomorrow.
Wow. Exactly. Because I have that brain fatigue. And
Yeah,
I don't know if it's like you when sometimes I could just be doing whatever I'm doing, and all of a sudden, right out of the blue, I have to go lay down quickly because I may
yeah,
not sleep, but I just need to rest myself. Does it
yeah,
happen to you?
yeah. And I think we discussed it briefly yesterday, where
Yes.
um, when I am experiencing that fatigue, I'll say the wrong thing. My words will come out wrong, um, and it'll come. Sometimes I'll say things that I don't really mean, and not in a
Yes.
nasty way.
No, no,
Like,
no.
it can be complete gobbledygook, and I know what I'm trying to say, but the
Yes.
people in my room, or my wife or whatever, are like, "What did you just say?" And I'm like, "What I meant was,"
Yeah.
and you have to explain yourself for the fourth time.
I know the feeling exactly. I mean, so many times it happens. Sometimes even when I'm not tired, I'm thinking of something that comes out the wrong way, and
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
yeah. I think we all go through that. Um, Stephen, I can fight with my brain about sleep. It's just it'll shut down operation. When it's done, just have to learn to, yeah, good for you, Stephen. But so what other, I mean, so if you could tell anybody out here that is feeling, I had a stroke and I don't want to go on, or I don't want to, what can you encourage them? Anybody out there?
Well, that's why we've got the website as and a sort of platform for them to reach out to us. I mean, the whole point about stroke information is that it's actually run by stroke survivors.
Nice.
For stroke survivors and anyone else impacted by stroke, so that if they've got an issue, say for instance with their mum, that my mum's feeling a bit anxious, or she's rocking, or there's the other one that I do is quiver. Sometimes my leg will go like this,
yes,
and it won't stop. I just like to reach out to them and say, no, that's completely normal.
Yes.
Don't worry about it. Just by doing that, it's nothing.
Yeah, I do the same thing. I can't remember what it's called. So sad. Clonus.
Yes.
Right. Yeah. Because it definitely happens to me as well.
I mean, we also set up a live chat stream on the website, so that initially I did it for when stroke patients are being visited by their family and friends in hospital. With technology, iPads, and even the smartphones these days, you can hang on. I can ask stroke information, and they're aware and send you a message on, and we respond to it, and then it's like, whoa, this is brilliant, because you're getting an instant. Whereas before you might have had to wait to go and see a consultant. Bearing in mind that it's not necessary. That's it. Well done, Leslie. That's it.
That's right.
That's brilliant how you do that little picture and clonus. Yeah. But yeah.
Did you?
If we could answer the question straight away, it's not like whereas under normal circumstances where you have to wait 2 or 3 days or even weeks before you can see a consultant and say, is this right? We can give them a sort of instant response, and may just add to that it's not a medical response, because we're not medically trained. So
sure,
we're not sort of giving them any medical advice, but we can give them advice from experience, based on experience, and that's again, I think it's so sort of vital and paramount to, as you talked about, educating others is just it's amazing, and as you self said, Jerry, that when you help somebody else, you give that great sense of purpose.
Yes.
And in the States side of things, it's like someone coming up to you and giving you $1,000.
Right.
It's like, wow.
It's right.
There's no better payment than somebody says, oh, thank you. I really appreciate that, because that's helped me at no end. And it cost me nothing.
Right. Exactly.
It cost me nothing. But if I can help that person, then so be it.
Right. Right. So I guess Mike is going to contact you. So
yeah,
that's awesome. It's good to get involved like this. So what?
Thanks, Mike.
I don't hate when this happens, when I think of something and I can't. But I'm so happy that you got on the show here. Yeah, don't take the advice as a medical advice. So true.
And I would never, even when I'm giving advice, whether it be on live chat or whatever, I would say, I'm not medically trained. You can't take this as a medical decision. However, based on experience, based on my own experience and others that have had strokes, this is what I found.
Yes.
You can take it or leave it.
So true. Now, can people contact, I mean, in the United States, or is it anybody, or is it just the United Kingdom, the stroke information, just to reach
Hey,
out? I don't,
hey, Jerry, we're global.
yeah, that's good. I love it.
Yeah, we've contacted and had people contact us from Beirut, from Africa, from France, from Spain,
Good.
Australia, the US. Again, we just love spreading the word.
Yeah, exactly. And I love that. Love that you're doing that. But I
Yeah,
love the fact that it's run by, a lot of stroke survivors, because
yeah,
like you said, we're not medically trained, but we know what we're going through, and we could shed light on that, what
yeah,
you're going through, because a lot of people don't understand.
yeah, totally.
Wow. Well, that's terrific. But Nick, I really appreciate you coming on. And if there's any other last parting words for everybody
Oh,
out there.
well, I mean, just to say that, if you'd like me to come on again, I'm more than happy to do so. You can reach out to me on Twitter and Facebook. On Twitter, I'm at 69 Clarke,
Okay.
and that's not because of anything sexual or anything like that. The 69
Right.
is where the number of the house I live at. So
Oh, nice.
that's all it
Okay,
is.
well,
And Facebook. We're not really a massive fan of Instagram, but we're just sort of experimenting with TikTok.
yes.
And believe it or not, we've actually got a full life-size costume of this that I sometimes wear,
Right.
and he's on TikTok. You'll see him do a little dance. So,
Okay.
but
I'll
yeah,
have, I'll have to look for that.
that's for another time.
Yeah, Mike Peters, he's involved in some theater, and I don't even know what it is. I mean, but
Like amateur
Mike,
dramatics.
oh, yes.
Yeah, yeah. But
Well,
anybody, like I've just seen a note there from Leslie saying that she'd like to get involved. Just reach out to me on Twitter if she's on Twitter, or drop us an email at contact us at strokeinformation.co.uk. And yeah, let's hook up and see if we can help each other out.
I agree. That's what it's all about. Stephen, you're welcome.
Well done, Stephen.
Yeah, I'm glad you're here. Means a lot to us to get the word out, because I'm shocked how many people don't know what a stroke is out there. Really.
Yeah, it's crazy. It is crazy.
Yeah, exactly.
But then you empathize with other medical conditions as well, like what that person's going through, because you might not be directly have the same sort of conditions as that person, but you can sort of relate to something very similar, and it puts you on sort of a level sort of keel. And
Yes.
once, I think someone said it earlier on, I think I said it yesterday, humor and being funny and having a laugh, there isn't any better medicine out there.
I love it. Exactly.
And if you especially if you can laugh at yourself, which I do quite regularly, then even better, because I can be tired and want to say something to my wife or something like that, and in the end I just go, forget it.
Yeah, I know the feeling.
I'll tell you in the morning when I remember what it is I want to say.
Yeah, if I can remember.
Yeah.
But well, awesome. If you could just stay on, and I'll just thank you all for being here. I appreciate it. And Nick, once again, definitely love to have you back on, and we can chat and
Yeah,
go from there.
Why not? Let's make it a regular thing, and then I can try and introduce you to some of my fellow stroke survivor warriors.
I would love it.
Yeah, let's do it. I mean, it's not, I hopefully you'll see that I'm a man of my words. When I said to you today that I'll do this, I will do it, because
you're too kind.
What's the point of, we're only on this earth for a short period of time, so
right?
We might as well make it an enjoyable time.
I agree 100%.
Yeah.
Wow, oh, nice. Wow.
There you go.
And that's not the turtle.
No, it's a tortoise. But yeah, anybody. I mean, anybody anywhere in the world, basically. That bearing in mind that there's 17 million strokes happen every single year.
Right. Hard to believe.
It's crazy. Absolutely crazy. And again, very briefly, as I know, like, time's ticking, but every stroke's different. Yeah, I think we all know that. But as we said yesterday, your recovery journey is different as well. So,
true.
Something that you face, someone else that has also had a stroke won't experience it, but you can sort of share the overriding factor of what you're going through, and we can all help each other.
Yes, and that's what it's about. I know we can, like in the United States, every 40 seconds someone has a stroke.
Yeah. Crazy. It is crazy.
It really is. Yeah, absolutely crazy is right. So, but Nick, once again, thank you so much, and it really means a lot to me that you're here, and everybody else watching, except the hack.